we're really truly ready for Shadowrun.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. We are live now with Shadowrun New Atlantis. It's been a while since we played, but we're going to get back into it. And what do each of you remember about what your characters were last? And as you recall what you remember, tell us who you are and who your character is. Let me look at the stream. Start with Gemma.
Yeah, hi. I'm Gemma. I am playing. Let's see, what was her name? It was Janess.
Yeah.
And last we were here, I remember Janess basically being back at the loft where we hang out, trying not to pick the scabs of all of the bits of or all the wounds from a grenade that went off inside the room I was in.
Mm-hmm.
We had just finished off an adventure where I spent most of the time sitting in a room tied with Jet. So there's that.
Silverstorm.
Hi. I'm playing as Valkyrie. The elf sniper. I would have spent most of my time with Blinky until she was well enough to take care of herself, and then would have returned to the loft.
All right. And Nerdy.
I'm playing Star, an elf cat burglar, and I remember an explosion and the declaration that she was going to get the hell out of Dodge at some point.
Yeah. The three of you currently, I believe, are at the loft, and Valkyrie would be receiving a message from Blinky saying that they've put together a file, and they've after you helping them out so much, they've got the stuff for you. And in fact, they because they know what you want, Valkyrie, but they actually would like to ask Janess and Star each what they want, because you've gone and done a very, very, very big favor for them. The money is not enough, and they want to help each of you with what are you trying to do. And so what would that be actually for Star? Would that be getting out?
Yeah, getting out as lean as possible for just to keep her daughter safe.
Mm-hmm. Blinky would send you a file that would be not a ticket, because you wouldn't be going through official channels, but you have prepped for you in 2 weeks' time is when it will be ready, and you can kind of take it whenever you're ready. But there will be a boat that can take a few passengers. There's a cabin that is up for you to take that will take you to London, where you will be given you will be put in contact with a counterfeiter who will give you as many fresh fake sins as you need to start a new life there. Janess, when Blinky asks you what you want, What kind of thing are you working towards? How can she help you? What would you say?
Look, I think the biggest thing Janess wants is training in getting her computing and tech skills up a little further, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But she's, other than that, her main focus is just paying the bills and living life. I mean, she's already had a life where she's had a lot of both adventure and misadventure. So she's, her focus is on, how do I put it, just getting by and living a life.
All right.
And, no one seems to be bothering her for being her here. So she's quite happy to just integrate into this community and become a part of it.
Okay. In that case, she would send you a kit of software. It's a comprehensive mid-level suite. So any program that you don't have at a level 3 or higher for matrix programs, you can take at a level 3. Yep. So if you don't have any, you can take it to level 3. If you have it at level 2 or something, you can upgrade it to level 3. And these are entirely divorced from their original copy protection or licensing restrictions.
Cool. All right. Well, I will accept that with a great deal of gratitude.
Wonderful. And now, Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm.
The document you have is there's a lot to it.
Okay.
It has the route of a ship that is going to pass from UCAS and take a route north of New Atlantis up to London, and then from London it's going to go down to somewhere in Europe. It's unclear. It's kind of supposed to disappear. It is carrying all essential components necessary to repair any regeneration tank, no matter what level of disrepair it's in. So essentially, it's enough parts to rebuild one.
Okay.
It is going to be guarded. It's got a fairly sizable suite of drones that are going to be watching it 24/7, not needing to sleep, as well as a small crew of humans and metahumans there to take care of it as well.
Okay.
The proposed approach would be miniature sub, which can be rented from Dolly.
Of course. Dolly has everything.
This suggests that you call in all the favors that you have, anything you can, because this will be a very, very difficult mission. If you take it by force, you will, first of all, most likely lose, and even if you succeed, you will be tracked down after the fact.
Okay.
This needs to be a stealthy heist, or you will be in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
similar to the document I gave you before, this document is going to act like a character. You can ask it questions, and I can tell you because there's so much info, I can't just info dump on you right now. It's got a lot of details. Ask me questions, and I can answer them as if it were a character.
All right. Okay. So it's gonna be soon. So north side. Who owns the north side of New Atlantis? Like which gang?
The northern side is mostly controlled by the Irish.
Okay.
But passing north of New Atlantis is like it's still going to be a couple miles north of the actual city. It's not stopping in New Atlantis.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll walk downstairs
All right.
and see what's happening.
What is happening down there? How are Janess and Star doing? They've both fully recovered from their wounds, although they may still be sore, for sure. And Slice will be present. He's been trying to just like stay out of the way of the two injured people who live here, and has been trying to be helpful. Go ahead.
You go first, Star. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing with a couple of things.
Star's probably not doing much. Maybe listening to music or watching TV with Slice. Probably trying not to do anything if she can.
And Slice is trying to cheer her up in any way he can, which is not he's probably not very good at. But yeah, it's kind of I imagine a bit tense after a near-death experience like had been had recently.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, again. What about Janess?
Look, other than trying her hardest not to pick at the itchy scabs, she will be trying very hard to find out what's around here. She hasn't really had much of a chance to explore this environment, and maybe find out if there's any good coffee shops, any good. Well, I mean, we know there's a good coffee shop over the road, but I mean, cafes in terms of places where she can do some networking and make friends, clubs,
Salud.
that sort of thing.
What kind of people particularly looking to interact with?
Yeah.
When you're doing this, what kind of people are you looking towards?
I mean, people who have a similar sort of background, perhaps. But when I say that, I mean runners, and in particular, she'd be looking for people who have a potential interest in hiring a good face and/or a mid-range hacker.
Mm-hmm.
She's her focus is really on finding people who she can do some fun things with, and by that I mean income earning, not sexy fun times.
So you get a couple individuals trying to get a hold of you. Alex, what was the dark elf?
Allie.
Yeah, Allie.
Yeah. Allie.
Which is Simon's head of security, says that she actually could use your help every once in a while, just kind of a sort of consultant to just have you come in every once in a while. She doesn't have anything for you right now, but just kind of a set up a line of contact to do that in the future.
Yeah, sure.
As well, Scabs has a job for you.
Okay, cool.
If you, he like texts you and says that he's got a job for you if you want to come over.
Okay, how far away is Scabs's workshop?
Maybe a 15-minute drive.
Okay. So long enough that it'd take a while to walk. That's fine.
Yeah.
I will see what I can do about organising use of the car and make my way over. I'll first let the others know that Scabs has got a bit of work that they might be interested in having some people help with. But I'm happy to go down there on my own if needed and check it out and report in.
So what you would find, Janess, when you arrive is that Scabs has found essentially the medical equivalent of military surplus and has some secondhand MRI machines and assorted other medical equipment, some of the bigger machinery set up. And basically what he's asking for you is, can you set up my VCR and get these things to actually work? He bought them, but he doesn't know how to turn them on properly or like boot them up for the first time.
Yeah, sure. Wow. Okay. Let's see.
What skill do you think is most pertinent? And you could just use that.
Let's see. Trying to cajole machines into working. Would that be electronic warfare? No.
No.
Fight the bugs.
Yeah, exactly. No. That was a joke. Oh dear. How much of this is going to be cyber combat? Sorry, not cyber combat. General computing and or RTFM. Because I'm certainly happy to do a data search to figure out how to make it all happen.
Why don't you first do a data search to just look up any info you can on these things? Just get familiar with them, like old user manuals and such.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm starting. 3 hits.
Wonderful. That's pretty good. And so you get some basic, like you don't get any current user manuals, but you get outdated ones for like previous models and stuff, which is a start. It's a pretty good start.
Yeah, sure.
And based on those, you could roll me a computer check, please.
Okay. And that's 1 hit.
1 hit. Okay. You begin to start them up, but apparently wherever Slice got these from, not Slice, Scabs got these from, didn't like wipe them or anything. They still have their old systems on there, so they're asking for security access to the hospital's network right now. So if you could please roll me hacking to try and kind of trick these things into connecting onto the laptop that he has set up in the corner as the hospital network.
Yep. 3 hits.
Wonderful. That passes, and so you managed to hook up all these things onto his laptop. You give him the advice that if he runs more than one of these things at the same time, it'll probably destroy his laptop. So he needs to only do one at a time, but you get a setup going enough so he can do what he needs to with all these devices, and he will give you 400 new yen for your time.
Okay, cool.
And says that anytime you want to have any more medical work, come along. You're free to come around, and any other time I get more equipment, I'll definitely call on you. You made that a lot
All right.
easier
happy to help.
than that could have been.
Yeah, very, very happy to help.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Wonderful. So the moment at which I'm trying to line up time, the moment at which Valkyrie has decided to come downstairs is basically about the same moment that Janess is coming home from that.
Okay.
So having just kind of completed a job, coming back to the loft, and now Valkyrie steps downstairs. Go.
Okay. I'm gonna note that she came in and ask where she went.
Pardon me. Yeah, no, I've just been down at Scabs' place helping him get some new equipment set up. Nothing too. Yeah, it turned out that it was just a little bit of reading the manual and getting some stuff reset so that he could access it from his computer. Nothing big.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like he picked up some surplus from somewhere. Thinking about it, a lot of it was military surplus, so maybe it was, I don't know, let's put it this way. Largesse from Ali.
Yeah.
Well, from Simon, you know.
Yeah.
From the folks who recently lost access to a large amount of that sort of equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shame. I'm gonna sit down next to Star. And ask how things are coming along on her end.
Or
Leaving.
done in progress.
Okay. Do you want to be a part of anything before then?
Do you've got something?
Yes. We might actually have a shot at getting the necessary pieces for a regen tank.
Okay, I'm in.
You sure?
Yeah.
Probably gonna be the hardest thing you've ever done. You might die again.
Still here.
Okay. If you're sure. Janess, do you want in on this?
Yeah, sure. I'm up for pretty much anything that keeps the wolf from the door, but just want to pull you up on something. Did you say that Star's leaving?
Go look at Star.
Yes, eventually I will be leaving.
Oh. We've only just met. Damn it. Whole point of coming here was make new friends. Is it me? Do I smell bad?
No, it's not you. It's almost dying several times.
Yeah.
It's the explosives.
Been there, bought that t-shirt. I think the real trick is don't be where the explosives are. It's not something I've quite managed to get my head around yet, though. I wouldn't say I'm perfect at it yet.
You know, that's part of the reason why I'm a sniper. I'm far away from a lot of danger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that.
Anyway,
So yes, regen tank sounds like a great idea. Especially if we are still sort of, shall we say, working to improve our skills at being far away from the explosives.
yeah. Except, we're gonna be messing around with some of the corpse to do this.
Ooh,
So,
my kind of fun.
So
yeah.
Slice would lean over the back of his couch to the three of you. So what's your plan?
Oh, hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Fine, doing fine. I'm
Good.
far too sober having to take care of the two of you.
It's all good. I'm good. I'm happy.
Good. And
I
then
just
he gets
wish
up and
these
goes over to the
scabs would
fridge.
Stop itching.
So what's your plan then?
Don't have one yet. I've been advised to call any favors that I can.
Okay.
I'm just starting at ground level right now with all of everyone here.
So what's
So when you say corpse, plural,
Mm-hmm.
could you clarify there?
Well, it's coming from UCAS. Then it's gonna be headed towards London, passing by us from the north side. And then after that, it's supposed to disappear. So we don't know
it being the tank?
the tank, and it's on a ship.
Okay.
So Valkyrie, do you kind of just give everyone access to this document so they can all ask questions of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would give them access to that. Yeah, so we know that at least the UCAS and then whoever it's being delivered to is involved. I wouldn't be surprised if it was as technology.
Okay.
So how are you going to get to it?
Don't know yet. As you can see, there's a suggestion to use a submarine.
Okay. So I can add a basic level pilot aircraft and groundcraft.
Okay. But not...
I mean, put me behind the and I can probably get it from A to B. I'm not sure about fighter jets or that sort of shit, but hey, it's a start.
Okay. My problem with that method is that I have no idea how we're gonna get from the submarine onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of getting onto the ship's going to be difficult no matter what you do. If you fly a plane, I mean, that'll be difficult. If you go on a boat, if you go on a submarine, it's going to be difficult one way or another. So I think you got to figure out how you're going to do that.
Yeah.
There is magnetic climbing here.
That is true.
I guess where I'm coming from for the piloting is that maybe I can get us as far as a jump-off point. So if we can, hire a small aircraft, we can get from A to B to a point where to a staging area where we can then use whatever other methods are required to get in there.
So how big is this thing?
I'd look at the document.
Okay, so the regeneration tank itself, if it were fully assembled, would be about the size of it's like if you took a regular sized car and then turned it over nose down. So it's an enormous giant tank capable of containing a troll fully submerged inside of it. But it's
we only
not
need
fully assembled.
Parts for it.
You don't have any parts for it, so you need to take all of the spare parts they have, which are not fully assembled, so they're going to be in just many disparate containers, and you're going to have just a giant pile of boxes. So it will probably take up more space than that.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Star and say, You're supposedly good at stealing things. How would you do this?"
Well, I mean, coming up from below reduces your chances of being spotted immediately.
Okay.
I mean, if you're on the water and there's nothing but open water around you, there's a chance you'll get spotted. If you drop in from a plane, you probably also get spotted. Little cover. I mean, if you come in from below, it increases your chances of not being spotted, but I think it makes it harder get things off the boat.
Yeah.
And back over the side. I mean, I guess the way I would do it, which isn't really plausible, is I would have your own container on the ship, switch the container, but I don't think that's going to work here.
No. Yeah, we'd have to be ahead of schedule in UCAS at this point, which we can't do.
So here's a question. I don't really know a lot about regen tanks. I could always RTFM and see what I can find, but if what's the critical ingredient that makes a regen tank work? Is it the contents of the tank, or is it the tank itself?
It's not the tank itself. It's the essential gear to run it, basically.
So we don't need to grab the actual tank. We just
just have to grab the parts.
So
and
the
then
most important.
Got the bits.
Gabs can make everything else.
Looking at the document, the most important part there's a couple primary systems that are absolutely required. There's the biofluid processing and generation system that keeps the solution that a person would be suspended in exactly perfect to keep them alive. There's an exceedingly sensitive biomonitor that's capable of getting a full understanding of where their body is and how it's doing while suspended in that liquid. And then there is the central control system, which is the most expensive part, that's capable of controlling minute biological processes while the person's suspended in there. And that's the primary piece you need. But those three pieces are the really expensive and difficult to acquire pieces. And with that, you could go buy yourself the materials to make the biofluid, and you could go buy yourself the glass to make the tank. You could get the pumps and everything else that you need. So yeah, those are the three main parts you would need. And if you want, with the documents you have, you can familiarize yourselves with what those would look like and what their packaging would look like. So you know that the central processing unit is a box about, 2 feet cubed. The fluid processing system is like the size of a mini fridge. And the what was the last one? Oh, and the biomonitor is also another like 2 feet cubed piece of machinery. Each of those pieces are the essential stuff you would have to take.
Okay. So let's think a little bit about logistics. So let's say we have. So let's start with the knowns. We have a vessel of some sort. like a shipping vessel of some sort, whether it be a submersible or a surface vessel or whatever, but it's a naval type vessel. Do we roughly know the route? Like,
Yeah.
I know we know the very high level, but do we know the actual route in enough detail?
Yes, you do. The
Okay.
document provides that.
Do we know what the stops are that they will be making between A and B? If there are no stops, then where my head is at becomes a bit difficult. But if we know a specific port that they're going to be in,
you know the
there
port
are some opportunities there.
You know the port in London where they're going to stop, but that's it. It's a cross-ocean trip. They're going to go from London. They're going to go from UCAS, specifically New York, to England, and then from England they're going off to some other place in Europe that is not documented because they're going to kind of fizzle out and disappear into mystery before they get there. Is the plan?
Okay. Has it left from New York yet?
No, it is not.
Okay. So, firstly, does anyone feel like joining the UCAS military?
Sorry, what?
Well, I mean, maybe not on a permanent basis, but perhaps if what we need to do is to get on board a UCAS vessel, perhaps then the best way to do that is part of the crew?
Do you think we'll actually pass as part of the crew?
It depends. So let's say...
Or we could send some of our friends who have been known to be pretty good at this.
Yeah, that's also possible.
And then we meet them at the north side of New Atlantis.
Yeah, perhaps. I guess the real point I'm making here is that an inside job is always easier to pull off than an outside job. Are there any members of the crew that we could influence? Are there any members of the crew that we could influence to leave certain parts on the dock when this thing arrives? It's always better to have a theft discovered sometime after the theft has actually taken place.
Maybe.
I mean, otherwise we're in run and gun territory, which is, I think, something we've established we'd rather not be in, right?
Well, yeah. Unless we can get extra help to do that for us, but I doubt that we can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just painting some possibilities here. Trying to think outside the box. I mean, yes, going in, guns blazing, kill the crew, get the stuff. I mean, it's not really my style. I'm more about subtle where I can.
Okay. So, you want to go to UCAS, somehow make it aboard, and then what?
I'd rather not even have to be on board the ship. I'd rather have the thing left on the bits we need left in a warehouse for us to pick up. Like, if we know what warehouse it's going to be stored in before it's put on board the ship, and we can find physical analogs for the parts that they're going to be shipping that we want to get hold of, there's no reason that we shouldn't be trying to maybe go into the warehouse itself and do the heist there. Or possibly even co-opt someone to swap out the pieces we need for something that looks identical and leave them in a little compartment somewhere, or a back of a car, or whatever, that we can just pick up at our leisure.
Okay.
So then if because they're not going to be shipping someone in the tank, are they?
No, just the parts.
Just
Nope.
the parts.
By that measure,
Do we know where these parts are being made, or where they're being picked up from in UCAS to be put on the ship?
They've already been made, and they're already they're already on the ship actually. But the ship's just currently just sitting still in dock, waiting for. In the document, it says that the security team has not entirely been assembled, so they'll be waiting a little, still a while before the entire security team is assembled. So currently, it's just dock security is not allowing anyone on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
The security team hasn't been assembled.
Mm-hmm.
oh, we know some people that are very good at blending in. Perhaps it wouldn't be so bad to hire them to have a couple people on the ship.
Yes, I agree. It's just
Or what if a few of those security team members that they're waiting for were unable to join the cruise, and certain other people happen to be available as, people who could fill in?
yeah, that's an option. It's just still, what then? They have all their pieces
Slice would
and they leave.
interject. Well, I mean, I think what I would do, like, because I used to do this sort of thing not on the water but on dry land, would be, the old fell off the back of the truck thing, but you'd actually drop it off the side of the truck. If you give yourself some kind of weight, but then also some kind of air bladder to keep it from sinking, they can throw them off the side of the boat and with a little tracker beacon, and you can just pick them up.
Okay.
Yep.
How would we find that? Because that sounds like a better plan.
Those wouldn't be hard to do. You just need to make sure that your inside men are, on the dot, and then they just throw it overboard. Getting one of those made shouldn't be hard at all. I bet Dolly could whip that up in an afternoon.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean,
And a drone to do the search, pretty easy to manage.
Yeah, you could.
That way we don't have to
just
go
take a speedboat out there and pick
around
them
in
up.
circles looking for stuff.
Yeah, you could just have a drone to look for them, and you could pick them up in a speedboat. Just like a day after the boat has passed, so it'll never see you. But you got to pick your inside men, make sure that they're the right ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want
to ideally,
call...
No, you go. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, do we? It would also be worthwhile seeing if we can get shall we say, an alternative part sitting on the ship as well as the part that we're interested in, so that once they remove and release the bit that we're after, they have an analog that will pass muster for at least basic visual inspection as the part that we have had jettisoned for us to pick up.
The problem
Something that could be
with this...
taken on as maybe personal luggage, that sort of thing.
Maybe. The more I'm thinking about it, though, the more we have to be aware of how not easy anything is gonna be for the people that we're gonna send in if they decide to do this. Which means we probably are gonna have to help with distracting. My thought is when the ship passes by, we can run some interference to try to distract the people actually doing their job from realizing that others are trying to drop stuff over the side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should find your inside people and discuss the plan with them before you really go any further, I think.
Okay.
Who's it gonna be?
Well, the obvious answer is the Black Mask. But
I like that
Further
idea just on the basis of the
for-
person's name.
sorry. What?
I just like that. I like the idea of the Black Mask. Never heard of them, but it just sounds like a great name.
They're neat people. But considering how they didn't really want to be a part of the last thing we did, I don't know how hyped they're gonna be about this.
Oh, give them a call.
Okay. I guess so. I will call them.
All right. Hello.
Hey, it's Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm. What can I do for you?
I got a job that you guys might be good at.
What's the pay?
Well, I can offer 10,000 for the job.
That's pretty good. We'll come over and discuss it.
Okay.
Your place?
Sure.
All right. We'll be there in a little bit.
Okay. See you then.
And a few minutes later, the door would have a knock.
Okay.
I'll get it. Wander over.
On the other side of the door, you would see 5 younger men, probably maybe just out over 20 years old, maybe. All of them with short-cut blonde hair and similar young features. In fact, you look at them and it's a bit uncanny that 5 people would have the exact same face. The only noticeable differences is like one of them's got like a scar that the other ones don't have, and one of them has a tattoo above his eyebrow. But they seem to all be the same person. And they come in, a couple of them sit down, some of them stay standing, but one of them steps forward and says, all right, so for 10,000 new yen, what are you having us do?
Well, see. There is a ship coming from New York, UCAS, headed to London, passing by us north side. On that ship are 3 important parts for a regeneration tank. I want those parts.
Yeah, that's... Who are you stealing it from?
What'd the document say?
Yes.
Okay.
Evotech.
Evotech.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they all kind of share glances between each other. Okay, so what is our job in this, hypothetically?
Hypothetically, the best plan that we can think of at the moment would be for you guys to get hired on in UCAS, and then at some point we'd give you the equipment, but you would essentially drop the crates that we need off the side of the boat for us to pick up later.
Okay.
And we'd give you the buoy system and the beacons needed to make sure that they don't disappear.
What Okay, what's our in onto the ship?
Security
I'd
team.
share with them the file and pointing out the part where they don't have the security detail fully yet.
Okay. And they kind of look at each other. Should we do double? Yeah, I think. So, okay. We could do that maybe. But we need to change to that plan a bit.
Okay.
This stack of cards all works until the boat gets where it's going and they do inventory.
Okay.
First of all, we don't know where it ends up at the very end, and we don't want to go there. Wherever the unknown question mark, we don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So we're not staying on that boat to the end of the ride. So we
Okay.
jump off at the same time as the crates.
Okay. We can do that.
So we need equipment to be able to sit around in the water for as long as we're going to have to. In the middle of the ocean, we'll get cold pretty fast, so we're going to need, like...
Wetsuits.
Yeah.
The very least.
We're going to need a whole kit. But if you could do that, we might be able to do that.
Okay. How easy do you think it'll be for you to actually pull this off? Are you going to need outside assistance to provide cover?
We need you to... And they start looking through the list of, like, the security team. The security team list has very little detail. But they're... This guy right here, you need to kill him.
Okay.
And then we can get in.
Alright.
And we need his, like, ID. Bring us his ID.
So it
Right.
needs to be quiet.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay. I think I know someone who can help you with that.
Okay, so you kill this one guy, and then you have to have the gear for 4 of us.
Okay. And then the equipment.
For the
Do you think you can smuggle on the equipment needed for the crates?
Yes. We're going to sort of do the drop-off, but backwards, and pick up some of our gear mid-journey.
Okay.
Actually, pick up some of our crew as well, mid-journey.
I take it you're gonna be directing some of the flow on the ship?
Well, yeah, so one of us is going to go on the ship first, and then he's just going to go with what he has on him. And then we're going to pick up the rest of our team and the rest of the stuff on the way. And then when we hit the wherever you mark out, then we'll dump us and the stuff you want us to take off the side of the ship.
Okay. Where do you think would be the best spot for you to jump?
I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to tell when we do it to the hour, but they'll be able to notice that we're gone at some point.
Okay.
So maybe don't do it super close to New Atlantis.
Okay. Are you thinking before or after they pass by?
I think after they pass by, make it sound probable that we're going to, like, Ireland or something.
Okay. All right.
What if you do it earlier?
That also works. That means it could look like we're heading off to, like, Eastern Canada or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either one works. In fact, the sooner we get off, the better, because the con that we're gonna pull gets slipperier and slipperier the longer we do it.
Okay. Then earlier.
Yep.
Eastern Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, why don't you contract a boat to pick us up around northern Canada?
Okay.
It's not actually going to pick us up. We never meet it. But contract a boat to do it.
Okay. Janess, you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. Regarding the guy that needs to be taken out of the equation, for you
He's in
guys to have your
UCAS.
opportunity. Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay.
If you need someone who can potentially help isolate him
Well, that whole deal's
from
up to you.
the yeah. But if we need someone who can perhaps go in there and use some, shall we say, feminine wiles, maybe that's an area I can help with.
Well, as far as
Like-
I understand, all three of us are probably going, unless Slice wants to come.
Slice is like, I don't know. I can drive the boat once we do the final pickup, but I'll follow you around if you need help.
It's up to you.
I was thinking if it's all of us or one of you, then you can do the seduction, you can do the takeout, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
Okay. Yeah.
See, smiles, jokes.
So I guess I will contact the Black Mask when I have more details.
And one of them turns to you. Okay, so also standard payout system. Half now.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll give them 5,000.
All right, wonderful. So have a boat. Give us the equipment. And as soon as you do, we're gonna go ship ourselves off to UCAS. See you in New York.
Okay. Cool.
And so they leave.
All right.
You have their number, so if you need to call them or set up information, you can.
All right.
What's that?
Yeah, I'll make sure I have their comlink IDs before they go, because I suspect I'll probably be pretty key in ensuring that comms are done under the on the down low and secured appropriately.
Yep. Wonderful. So, what do the three of you want to do next? And do you want to bring Slice with you when you go to UCAS?
I think it'd be fun to have him, but it's up to him.
All right.
I think Slice could be very useful for the part of the adventure where we need to neutralize a specific individual.
I'm sure Valkyrie can.
I can take care of this person.
I'm sure the three of you can deal with the killing. However, I could say I'm pretty good at disposal.
That would work, yes.
All right.
No.
I guess so. We gotta go to chat to Dolly and maybe Grinder to get those wetsuits.
Yeah, and everything else. If you guys want to go ahead of me, I also need to talk to Blinky for a bit.
Okay.
So, Janess and Star are going to speak to Dolly?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Sure.
So, Valkyrie, you want to call Dolly? Blinky, excuse me.
Yeah.
Hi.
So I'll call Blinky. Hello.
She is not using the normal digitized voice that you're familiar with her using in the past.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey. Thank you for everything that you've given me so far. Can I ask for one more favor?
Yeah.
This guy, and I'm gonna name the person that the mask pointed. Can I get any more information on him? Like anything at all?
Let me see the name. Okay, so he is member of security force. Give me 15 minutes and I can give you a file.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's gonna be it.
Okay. Be careful.
I will do my best. Thank you.
Okay. And she hangs up.
Okay.
So do you want to just catch up with the other two and go with them?
I'm gonna wait until I get the file, and then I'll read it on my own, and then I'll catch up with them in the palace probably.
All right. So the Janess and Star approach Dolly's garage, which is a several bayed garage with several large humanoid drones working on assorted vehicles and other smaller drones. And Dolly is there. Dolly waves over at Janess and Star as they come in. Hi there. What are the two of you doing? Oh, Star, you're looking scratched up again. You all right?
Yes. I'm fine now. Another explosive accident.
I can give you a good deal on some replacement parts. You know.
I don't need them right now, but thank you. Actually, we're here for a boat.
A boat? Ah. Well, I've got a couple. What kind of activities are you going to be doing? I've got a medium pleasure cruise yacht, if you need. I've got a couple small speedboats. I've got some like disposable motorboats. You know, as disposable as they can be, and sort of stuff. What are you doing with it?
We need something that can go out, see to pick up a crew and their package.
Oh,
So
right. What's
at
the...
least needs to be able to hold a minimum of 5 to 7 people.
Okay. Yeah, what kind of engagements or complications could possibly be going on? Do you need it to be armored up or armed in any way?
In theory, no. If everything goes the way it's supposed to,
I've heard those
we
words
should
before.
be fine. But if it doesn't, we could be looking at corporate security.
Oh boy. Yeah, handgun in the hands of corporate security often has armor-piercing rounds and scary stuff in it. So let's... So how long would you be using this thing for?
Probably like a day.
Like
Get out of here.
about a day.
Okay. 1 day rental for 600 new yen. I could rent you a light speedboat, which is fast but won't be able to escape, a true speeding ship. It has no particular armor, but it can, get away pretty quickly. And has enough space. Or for 1,000 new yen for a day, I can give you a fully covered cabin ship, fairly fast, armor plating on all surfaces, and a small heavy machine gun, rear-mounted and front-mounted. The front-mounted one is a remote-controlled swiveling mount, and the rear-facing one is a full 360 swivel mount, but it's manually controlled. that would have more than enough room for you, and yeah.
So that's the basic option.
Yeah, those two are the kind of the more basic options. We can go more if you need.
In terms of the plan that we're seeking to hatch, there might be a couple of other options that might be useful, depending on the price.
Well, in that case, why don't we?
What can you do in terms of a seaplane?
Why don't we go into my office? Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
And she brings you into her office, which is it has a weird contrast. 3 of the walls, the doors on, and then the one to your right and left, are plastered with like ads for cyberware, like robotic limbs, and also just fancy cars, some very high quality drones and stuff. And then the back wall is entirely devoid of all these colorful, bright advertisements, and it's just like a giant bulletin board of work, of like orders and process and stuff that's going on right now. That one's all work, and the rest of them are just like the stuff she likes. And she sits down and she sits down on her desk, crosses her legs, and says, "All right, seaplane, you say?"
Yeah. I mean, so far we've been talking boats, but a seaplane would actually provide us some advantages in the operation we're talking about. We still need the same sort of capacity.
Right.
The other thing would be potentially a submersible that could be assembled in kit form on a vessel reasonably quickly, loaded and then ditched.
Okay. You're getting a little complicated here.
For recovery.
I think I need to understand what's going on a bit better, so maybe I can give you what you need. Because I have a thing that might be what you want, but it's not what you're describing. But it might serve the purpose. But I need to know more what's going on. What is happening?
Look, we can't be too specific at this point in time.
Please be vague.
Give you the general.
Please, I don't want to know the details. But
let's say you had a naval expedition from which you wanted to exfil some equipment and some people.
Right. In the middle of the ocean. Just
out to sea.
Right. How much time do you have to get stuff on or around this ship before it leaves, before you start?
We can probably create a little more time, so we're probably talking anywhere between a day, 2 days.
Okay, that should be plenty. How big is the ship?
Do we know that?
You do. So you have access to the document. You can pull it up in your comm and look at it again. This is like a shipping freighter.
Yeah, it's a freighter.
Oh, okay. I have a thing for you that might work.
Okay.
So I have a boat that can also submerge. It can't hold a very long air supply, but it can for a little while. But if no one's in it, it can stay underwater indefinitely. It has rigged onto it magnetic coupling systems to allow it to adhere to the bottom of a boat. So you can set that up underneath, and it can sit there for the whole time, and you can use it whenever you need.
What's the drag profile on it like?
For a shipping freighter, unnoticeable. Like maybe a smaller boat, like a cruise yacht. They might notice. Or a personal pleasure yacht, you'd notice for sure. But for a freighter, no. No. It's compact. That one, it is maybe maximum 5 people space though. if it's underwater.
That's all we need for that.
If
That's all we need for that.
okay,
Because the 5 to 7 includes
going to
the the recovery crew.
okay, yeah. The only now I don't want you to tell me where your starting position is because that's too much information. I don't want to know. But how the problem is literally getting the boat from here to wherever your starting point is. If your starting point is not here on New Atlantis, you'll have to get that journey started as soon as possible.
Yep.
That piece of equipment
What?
I can rent to you for, well, I have different payment plans depending on how you plan on using it. With a 5,000 new yen deposit, I can just charge you 400 new yen per day. If I have the deposit. If I don't, it's going to be about 1,500 new yen per day.
Okay, and what's the deposit?
Yeah, 5,000 new yen deposit.
Okay.
So, depending on how long you're planning on renting it, whether that'll save you money or not, I don't know.
Okay, just a quick thought. What's the sonar profile on this thing like?
It's visible if someone's using active sonar to hunt for it, they'll find it. But passive sonar, it should be fine. And yeah, if you look at it, it looks like a speedboat. So the idea is that most of the time it's supposed to be above water. Most of the time. And you just keep it underwater for storage as a well, usually illegal smugglers use it as sort of an escape pod sort of deal.
Okay. How closely would it pass as a ship's tender?
As a, excuse me, what?
If we could get it onto the
underside of a freighter, it would be unnoticeable unless someone was very, very closely looking.
What if we could actually take their lifeboat off and have this mounted as their lifeboat?
If you, because the lifeboats usually have a tarp over them. If you put the tarp over and no one looks, you'd be fine. If someone looks,
because I'm just thinking in terms of the logistics of getting the equipment we need to from vessel A onto vessel B, which can then drop and submerge for exfil and recovery.
It has minor remote systems. It can decouple itself. So you would have to jump off your freighter and like swim to it. But it could be, you could get to it. Yeah. As long as you're as long as you can swim to it. It'll be, like 100 yards swim or something. Like it's a bit, actually probably less. But as long as you're not carrying something exceedingly heavy, you should be all right.
Okay. This gives us some food for thought.
And if the thing is heavy, you can have a water bladder, air bladder, excuse me, on it, which I've got a few of those.
Yep. Okay. Final question.
Yes.
Seaplane?
Seaplane.
Costs.
Seaplane, if you're going to put the deposit down, which would also be 5,000 new yen, it would be 200 new yen per day. Fairly cheap. If there's no deposit, then it's going to be same 1,500 per day if you're not putting the deposit down.
Okay. All right. I think that gives us some working parameters. how do you feel about that, Star? Are we in a position to go back and relay that to other parties involved and start confirming options? We can get back to you. What sort of lead time do you need for these items?
The plane is in storage, so it'll take me 3 hours to get it out of storage. The boats are on the docks, so you can pretty much have them immediately. It'd take half an hour to fuel them up if they're not already fueled up.
Okay. We'll get back to you with specifics as soon as we can, hey?
Mm-hmm.
You good with that, Star? Do you need anything else?
That should be good.
There was one other thing I had.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially a UAV that could be set to patrol a target area for a ping, so that if our Team X feels we don't have a specific geolocation and we want to
track them down. I can get
narrow in on their exact location before coming in with the seaplane.
I can rent you a package that can do all that. Just
maybe something solar powered that we can set up on the way.
Yeah. 400 Nuyen for the thing, but it'll just be a 400 flat fee, and then you return the UAV to me. The tracking beacons are small, so you can just use them and then throw them away.
Okay. I'll do that now.
Yeah, all right, here you go. 10 beacons. They're little, so they're the size of like a lighter. Size of like a lighter. And then the UAV is a small vertical or horizontal winged vehicle. So it's got propellers to lift itself off, but it can also fly as a winged vehicle to be able to scout areas quickly.
Yep. Cool. And sorry, what's the name of this NPC again?
Dolly.
Dolly. That's right. Sorry.
All good. And unless you are looking to get any of your parts replaced, I think that's everything, right?
It's everything from me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
Just out of interest, what would it be? What would it cost us to actually buy this UAV from you?
$2,000. It's a pretty good one and almost entirely autonomous.
Okay. Look, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Oh, all right.
Let's just.
Yeah. In that case, yeah. Here, and she reaches down and hands you a bag with another 20 beacons. That's all the ones I have. Since there you go.
That's fine. Thank you. Okay.
So you have a total of 30 beacons for it, and you can just it's the search drone.
Okay.
And I can give you stats for that later if you're interested, or I can manage all the stats.
Yeah, sure. Or if there's an actual drone that I can.
I would have to build it later.
Okay,
but I can do
cool.
that.
All right. Well, if you can do that, that'd be great.
All right. And do you head back to the loft, or do you go to Simon's Palace where Grinder is at first?
Simon's Palace.
Okay. So underneath Simon's Palace, back in that marketplace, where you've all been there. Yeah, you were there. You would find Grinder is currently just has a firearm entirely disassembled in front of him and is just kind of cleaning parts.
And I would have met up with them at this point. Okay. Okay.
So
I will
the three of
walk
you
up.
are there. Hi there.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
You know people, and that's why I'm talking to you. We're looking for somebody who can sell us some wetsuits.
Ah, yeah. What kind of wetsuits? I'll put the. Are you gonna be diving in some coral reefs for, you know, an afternoon getaway, or is this Arctic gear you're looking for?
Ocean for a day.
Ocean for a day. Okay. Are they diving or just swimming?
Not diving and not swimming. Just surviving.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you want a little more than a wetsuit. So to be aware, the three of you are here together. So he says hi to all of you. I says, usually what you want is some kind of float. If they're not going anywhere, they're just hanging out. You need some kind of flotation device, else they'll get tired. So, yeah, you'll want to have a device, which I can get you one of those. How many people are hanging off it? How many suits do you need?
4.
4. All right. Yeah, I have a four person kit.
Okay.
That'll be 100 new yen per suit. And then the flotation device, which has food and water supplies, and actually has a water purification system in it, and survival gear guaranteed up to at least 4 days.
Okay.
That will be another 400 new yen on its own.
Okay. We're hoping that we won't have to use it for longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely we won't.
But yeah.
We're trying to be discreet, so I don't know how well floating would work for them.
No, look, if you want to find someone who's just floating in the middle of the ocean, which is basically the biggest thing on this planet, just by happening upon them, it's impossible.
Well, we don't intend to just...
Well, what I'm saying is, if they don't want to be found, they're not going to be found. If they've got a tracking beacon or something, then that's a whole different story. But if they don't want to be found, floating on the surface, they're not going to be found.
Okay.
Let us simply say that we have that situation in hand.
Well, I'm saying, yeah. You deal with that however you're going to deal with that. I'm saying they're as stealthy as they can be, so don't worry about it.
Got it.
Floating on the surface, they're not going to get spotted by a passing fisherman or whatever security forces looking for them or whatever. Floating in the ocean, you disappear. I've got all the stuff here, so if you want to take it, it's all right here. If you can hand over 800 new yen.
All right, I guess I will.
All right, wonderful. There you go. And so he'll hand over 4 folded up wetsuits. They're pretty thick. They're all 4 of them are kind of heavy. And then it brings over this flotation device. So it's got like handles and hooks, like bars, so that you can like hook your arm on there and you can actually strap yourself in and sleep hanging onto it. It's got a central space where it holds a water purifier where you can just take ocean water. It has solar panels on it and food reserves, very compressed food reserves, and just a whole kit of survival stuff for surviving out in the middle of the ocean. If a person doesn't have a wetsuit to keep their body temperature up and to not lose hydration through their skin into the ocean, they would die very, very quickly. But if you have a wetsuit, this thing will let you survive for a long time. It is also kind of heavy to just carry around, not in the water. So
Alright.
who's gonna like take that? He like
Uh,
hefts it onto the counter. There you go.
great. Let's see. I have 2 strength.
I've got 1 strength and 3 body.
Oh, great.
I've only got 1 strength.
No, I'm taking it then.
Wonderful. Why don't you all work together? Why don't you all roll your strength?
Uh,
You can set the wetsuits on top of it.
I got 1 hit.
Okay.
What's a hit? It's not a critical fail.
Okay.
It's just 0.
All right. What about you?
I'm laughing because I did roll a critical fail.
Oh, wonderful.
Of course you did.
Okay, so Star. How much? So someone or something might get hurt if you drop this thing. What are you trying to protect most? If this thing were to slip out of your hands? In the unlikely event that it slipped out of your hands, what would you be trying to make sure it doesn't get hurt? Me is totally a valid answer to that question.
Me.
Okay,
me.
yes. So it slips out of your hands and you kind of jump back so it doesn't land on your foot. And so it comes sliding down, the wetsuits pour out all over the ground, and it just flies into, basically it hinges where Janess and Valkyrie are holding it and slams into their knees. Just like slam. And if the two of you could roll body for me real fast.
Alright. One hit.
1 hit.
Okay, you each take 1 point of stun damage as it slams into your knees. It hurts a lot.
You glare at my sister.
That happened.
Really?
So, I turn back to this guy and say, you wouldn't happen to have like a trolley or a sack truck or something like that we could borrow for about 20 minutes to get this to a vehicle?
I can get here. Send me 10 new yen.
Sure.
And then he pulls out his comlink, types out it real fast, and then a couple minutes later you hear thump, 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 thump of a troll rush up over to you. He's wearing like an orange like overalls. Hi. You help?
Yes.
I point at the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I point at my knee, which is probably going sort of a deep purple by now.
And he just picks it all up in an armful. Where's it going?
This way.
All right.
I will follow them.
So it's taken to your van, I assume. Unload it there.
Mhm.
And he
Oh no, I walked here, didn't you? No, I'm kidding.
he attempts to shake each of your hands before he heads back inside.
Yeah, I'm shaking.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And goes back inside.
You have a great day.
Okay. So, what else do we need? What did you guys find at Dolly's?
So I fill her in on the options. I'm assuming you were listening earlier. So.
Yeah.
So basically, there's. I was thinking a seaplane might be a better idea for exfil of the team once we've got to a certain point. They have the option of a boat, submersible boat that can pass as a speedboat when it's on the surface, but it can submerge for limited periods of time.
Okay.
And it can be towed using magnetic clamps underneath the water with minimal passive sonar shadow. It would be picked up by active sonar. So we kind of need to know what the threat level is in terms of active sonar before we pull the trigger on that.
Would the
We do
document
have...
know about that?
The document would know that the ship is given a once-over check before everything goes, but that is, as far as you can tell, it says, that it lists out that they check over the cargo, they make sure that there's no stowaways, and they check the paperwork for everyone again. It doesn't mention checking the underside of the boat through any particular means.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's the biggest question is, if it's UCAS and corporate, will there be anyone? Will they have any countermeasures on the vessel in terms of, if something does get pinched, fall overboard, that sort of thing? Will they have a means to actively search for it?
Depends on if they know it fell over.
Well, that's the goal, is to ensure they don't. But
I think we should loop the mask in on this conversation, and we can see what they think.
Yep.
They can pull.
You can loop them into a call so they're involved.
Okay.
I assume you just explain the options.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that boat thing should work, because even if they do spot us, if we get onto it, there's no way a freighter can catch up to us. Just if they spot us, we go north instead of south. And make it look like we did get picked up by that boat that you have contracted to go out there.
Okay.
And then we take a long, long loop around and get ourselves down to New Atlantis.
So,
if we get spotted. If we don't get spotted, then we just take the boat and go south.
okay. The boat meaning...
That one that can adhere to the bottom of the freighter.
Okay,
wouldn't
so
even
you
need to pick
definitely
up...
want that one?
I mean, that one would be good because you don't have to come find us. We can just get in it and go. But, yeah, I think I prefer that one. Because if something goes wrong, we can do something about it. If they spot us when we jump overboard and we're just floating there, a freighter can catch up to 4 guys paddling around in the water. It might be nice for you to meet us somewhere, kind of an escort. Maybe arrive in a more armored boat to pick us up, or to at least escort us in case something is following us. But I think that's... Yeah. You know what? You know what we'll do? So, the difficulty is that the easier it is to know where you are, the easier it is for other people to know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have a GPS, it means someone can find us.
Okay.
So give us one of... If you can find us, if we can essentially, on purpose, get ourselves lost in the Atlantic, and then you have to come find us, that means we can be safe, but we can also run away if something were to find us, or if they spot us, or whatever.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah?
I have a bag of beacons here. I could probably set them up to operate on a bunch of different frequencies.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good...
So what if I gave you guys a bunch of beacons, but we arrange on specific beacon being the one that you guys will carry when you exfil.
Yeah.
Right? And then you throw a few off before, you throw a few off after.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or we can have a drone drop a few off after in the wake of the boat once we've zeroed in on your location. And that way, if they're scanning for beacon frequencies,
Mm-hmm.
they can find beacons. But it's going to be the needle in a haystack job looking for yours.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Do we want to do the same thing for the equipment that we are tossing off?
No, we'll just take it on the boat with us. It'll be with us. We'll take care of it. And what matters is that as soon as we get off, whether they spot us or not, we're going to go get ourselves lost. We're going to purposefully not know where we are, not have a GPS or any way to be found. And the only way for us to be found is with the beacon that only you know how to find.
And you're gonna have the cargo that we wanted with you.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to keep bringing it on that little boat with us as long as we have some air bladders to carry it.
Okay. And we do. Looking us our Janess, right? Or do we need to get those?
We've got 30 beacons available to us.
So no air
bladders
bladders.
air bladders can be arranged.
All right,
Okay.
if you can give... So, we're going to ship off to UCAS later today, if that's okay. We just...
We need you to come by and pick up the stuff.
Yeah, we need to pick up the beacons and the air bladders, and that's all we're going to have on us. And you're going to arrange for putting the boat underneath, right?
Yep.
All right.
I guess.
So, order of operations for what we need to do. We need to come over to you, pick up the beacons and the air bladders. Then, we need to go to UCAS, and in UCAS, you will give us the man that we've marked. You will give us his ID.
Mm-hmm.
From then on, we will not see you or communicate with you until you find us several days later in the ocean.
Okay.
Sounds
Alright.
good.
We will be over there in about half an hour to pick up the stuff.
Okay. Cool.
And at that point, let's take a break.
All right.
Okay.
That's all right. All right, yeah, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Have a break. See everybody.
Okay.
everybody.
If everyone else.
We are live now. So the three of you
We
need
need
to
a-
go pick something up from Dolly's
Yeah.
before the Black Mask can come in and pick up that stuff. So why don't we don't need to do that real fast. It's gonna be 60 new yen for the 3 air bladders you're gonna need. That's it. Just
60?
someone pay that, and then we can skip to the loft while you wait for the Black Mask to show up and pick up all the stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
There. 60.
All right. While you wait there, is there anything you all want to talk about?
Yeah. So, Valkyrie,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Okay.
We actually seem to be doing quite a bit of spending of money. I know that you've spent the bulk of it so far, but kind of curious what the payout on this gig is.
How much do you want?
Well, how much can I ask for?
Don't know
mean,
yet until everything's said and done.
Sure,
But I can at least.
I mean, what's the net reward gonna be? Oh, sorry, the gross reward gonna be? Because I mean, if we keep spending money and it turns out that it's going to cost us 5 times as much to actually get the thing as it is that we're going to get from selling it, then we need to think about the economics of that.
I intend to be doing all of the purchases. I don't expect you to be taking on any of that. And we're
Okay.
not selling it. We're gonna give it to Gabs.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
You, like Valkyrie, you know that Scabs is going to be giving you nothing for it,
Mm-hmm.
but he could.
I know.
He could be. There could be recompense from him for other people involved.
Okay.
You might want to talk to him about that.
Great. Okay.
Okay, look, I'm happy to park that conversation for now. I'm just simply saying that there is an economic aspect to this that I'm starting to feel nervous about.
If you want out, you can bounce out.
Oh no, I'm in for the funds. It's just about how far backwards my funds go.
When everything's said and done, I will owe you.
Okay.
So, if someone needs to die, I can kill them.
Okay. Thankfully, I don't have a great deal of enemies, because, I mean, I'm the friendly type, right?
Okay.
I really would suggest you talk to Scabs about how much he can get the other people. Because this regen tank is worth several million.
Mm-hmm.
On its own.
Yeah.
If it's fully completed, it is worth several million. He can't pay that, and neither can you. But
All right.
and the cheapo tank he constructs won't necessarily be worth that either. But you should probably talk to him.
I will when we drop everything off. I will go talk to him.
All right. He knows what's going on. You might want to run it by Dolly, though, because she's also going to be vital to the reconstruction of this new one as well. Make sure that she's on board and all that. You can probably just do that with a simple phone call, but you might want to make sure she's ready for that.
Okay. So, did we drop off the things yet?
Nope, not yet. The Black Mask will be showing up shortly.
Okay. I will wait for them.
Okay. They'll knock on the door after a little while.
Okay.
Hey, you got your... only one of them comes in today. Or right now. Got the stuff?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be in the van because we're not moving it.
Okay,
So I will direct them to the stuff.
wonderful. And that one will make sure with Janess that they're 100% clear on which frequency they're going to be using for the actual beacon.
Yep. I would also like to get a bunch of little mini floaties that we can attach to the beacons.
Oh, we got that covered.
So that they can.
Which
Oh yeah.
You just stick them in a Ziploc bag and it'll float.
Yeah, cool. All right, that'll do. I buy a bag of Ziploc bags.
Yeah, they got it. It's all right. All right, yeah. They do that.
Okay.
And then I will go to the roof and make a phone call to Scabs.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. What can I help you with?
So, I don't know how much you've heard, but long and short of it is I'm gonna get you the regeneration tank parts. And I want to use it, but there's a lot of effort to get this done, and you don't need to pay me. I'm using it. But is there anything that you can give me so that I can pay the people who will help me?
All right, well, here's the deal on that.
Mm-hmm.
I know no matter how you do it, this is going to be dangerous to go do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give money to anyone who might go on a job and not come back with the thing.
Makes sense. I'm not asking for it right now.
So as soon as the thing's in my shop, I could have money for... How many people is this?
3.
All right. The amount of money I have on hand might vary.
Okay.
But I can at least give them 10,000 each.
That works. They'll be happy with that.
All right. Have you talked with Dolly about that? Because unless you're gonna bring me the whole like a built one, I'm gonna need her help.
Yeah. I haven't asked her yet. Is it okay if I invite her to this conversation?
You know what? I'll talk to her. But a thing I can tell you is I'll be able to pay you more, or pay your friends more, the more of the parts you bring. The less I have to go sourcing and finding replacements for, the more I should be able to pay you.
Okay. We'll see. I'm more focused on people coming back alive.
Yeah. But it'll work as long as you can get me the important parts to it.
Okay.
I already have the glass tank bit though.
Okay. Cool. I think that's it though.
All right. Please don't go getting yourself killed out there.
We'll try. It's unlikely, but we'll try.
Not many people talk to me anymore.
I'm sorry.
So
maybe because... No, I'm not gonna make that mark.
Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you didn't die. I'd be put out.
Really, after banging up your door.
Yeah, even after that.
Wow. Didn't know you were so gracious. That's rare. Thanks, I guess?
It's not smart to be a smart aleck with the person who holds your guts.
I'm sorry. There's not a lot of people I get along with.
Yeah. Wonder why that is. And he hangs up.
While that's happening, I'd like to invite Star for a quick chat and a coffee over the road. Proper coffee.
Star, wanna go?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, Janess is...
Star, go on and grab a coffee. My shop. Proper coffee.
Sure.
All right.
10 new yen per cup.
Did you just want the little one, or did you want a decent one?
Little one's fine.
All right, I'll get a large.
All right.
Okay. Proper coffee on the spending logs. Done. Thinking about leaving, hey?
Yeah.
I understand. Like, I wouldn't want to put anyone on the spot and say, you know, hang around for my sake, but so far you seem nice. And, you know, I'm new in town and I'm still making friends, so be sad to see you go.
I have personal interests that I'm looking to protect.
Okay. That's a statement I can read between the lines on. To some degree. They're important to you?
Yes.
Understand. It's a brave thing coming into this life when you have other people dependent on you.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what brought you into the life?
Well,
I mean, you can tell me to mind my own business if you want.
it's mostly a long story, but part of it involves not so great family and somebody who won't admit it, but she did ditch out when I could have used her.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that because my phone is doing something weird with my internet connection.
It's a long story involving a not so great family and somebody who, though she won't admit it, ditched out when I needed her.
Okay. That's fair. You and Valkyrie seem close. Ish. In a weird, sort of vaguely hostile way.
Well,
But it's the hostility of familiarity, if that makes sense.
well, that would make sense. Well, some familiarity. 12 years is a long time not to see your sister.
Oh. Sisters, okay. Didn't pick that.
Yeah, we, like you said, long time, and not to see somebody, and not that she's changed all that much.
She doesn't seem the sort, right? You know,
Yeah.
changing. Although maybe,
No.
you know, there's always hope.
I mean, she surprised me by being attached to the girl we just saved.
Yeah, okay. Hidden depths and all that. Do you have any questions for me? I mean, you know, I've just kind of blown in and somehow ended up parking in your lives.
No, not really. None that pertain to me personally. I don't like digging in other people's business. I have my reasons for being here that I would prefer people didn't know, and I just assume that you do as well.
Yeah. I mean, there are elements of my history that I'm not going to be too specific about, but it's been a long road getting here. And I'm not necessarily opposed to broad strokes. But, you know, if you just want to enjoy the coffee and head back, then that's cool.
Oh well, thank you.
It is good. It is good coffee, though, right?
It's not bad.
I mean, it's real coffee, so that's got to be a start, right?
It is. Don't let Slicer make you coffee. Soy or real. Doesn't end well.
Are we talking doesn't end well in the, oh my god, it tastes so bad, or the, oh my god, I can see everything and I'm going to be awake for days?
Well, that's the point. You're taking the chance there. It's 50-50.
Okay.
Or he decides.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Or he decides that cocaine is better than sugar.
White and 3. I'm awake. Okay. Well, thanks for the chat. I mean,
No problem.
I kind of like your company, so I would be sad to see you go, but I get it. You know, when other people are involved, you make the hard choices, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I will, once we've finished the rest of the coffee and awkward silence, I will probably head back.
You actually see Slice enters into the diner where the two of you are at.
Mm-hmm.
And walks over to the two of you and leans down on the table. Hey, so I know, you kind of cut the conversation short and all, but did she say we were getting paid or no? Because I don't particularly like traveling to other countries without a good reason.
Yeah. I think there was a pin put in that, and that we were going to get an update once conversations were had.
All right, well, if I'm
Maybe.
not getting paid for this, we'd better be going on like a nice plane or something to get to you, Cass.
Yeah, we'll see how we go with that. But yeah, hey, can I buy you a coffee?
No, I'm good. I'm a little too awake. I'm good. Yeah, I'm alright.
Can I buy you a tea?
Yeah, that would be
nice,
great.
soothing tea.
Yeah.
Okay. I ask the waitress if they have a proper tea.
Yeah.
Like a nice oolong or something like that.
Yeah, 2 Nguyen.
Yeah, alright. Cool.
Valkyrie, while you are in the loft, you hear the door open.
Okay.
and it closes, and a man walks up to you. A man in a middle management business suit with balding head and a nervous look about him.
All right, well, I will tense up, and then seeing that's him, I'm gonna extremely relax, and I'm laying on my back with my hands like that, and say, "Oh, hey,
Hello.
what do you need?"
Well, I was hearing that you've been making some purchases.
Yes.
Blinky seems to be doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Well, I wanted to wish you good luck on your endeavors, and mention that there's another operation that may be very similar to yours going on.
Okay.
They shouldn't be too difficult to disrupt, I guess. But should they not be disrupted, could be problematic.
Who are these people?
And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a photograph, an actual physical photograph, and hands it to you.
Okay.
That's all I have.
So there's no possible way that we could maybe reach a mutual understanding?
Not likely.
Okay. Great.
Well, see, they don't have the exact same intent that you do with this job.
Okay.
They don't plan on leaving anything standing when they're done.
Okay. I will let my people know. This shouldn't be too hard to avoid.
If you can get authorities pointed in their direction, or if you can even just spook them, make them think that that they would fail, perhaps they can be dissuaded that way. But be careful.
Okay. There's another thing I want to talk to you about.
And he's already like starting to walk towards the door and turns back. Yes?
How invested are you in this?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm supposed to watch you.
Okay.
And it's quite likely that I'm supposed to watch you because you're to be used for something, or you know something, or just something, and it's quite unlikely that I'm supposed to watch you while you're dead.
Okay.
So my interest is in hoping that I really would rather dissuade you from doing this job at all if I could, but I know I can't. So instead I have to try and help you not die when you do it.
There's one slight issue that I need to figure out. I need a ride to UCAS. And I don't know how to do that.
All right. Here. And he hands you a little red ticket.
Okay.
Alfred, owes me a favor. Turn that favor into him. Tell him that you need the Irish to help you out getting to UCAS.
Thank you.
And he walks out. And just about as Jeunesse, Slice, and Star are about to get to the loft, they would see this balding man get out and get into a taxi and leave. Star, you would recognize it. This is Mr. P.
Well, perhaps we should get up there then.
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, so we'll go inside. So what did he want?
He was being friendly this time and wanted to let us know that at the same time, there's another job going on. So we need to figure out how to spook them. Don't know how. I don't have any details just yet, but
Slice stops his ill-advised attempt to drink hot tea through a straw, and kind of we've got another team of runners on this job.
We don't know exactly if they're runners or not. I'm thinking they are.
What are they doing?
From what I can gather, they are not stealing. But they're gonna be in the same place. I'm gonna give the image to Blinky and ask if she has anything on this person.
Hey, Lady Bedlam, thank you for subscribing.
Thank you.
So, chap out there, obviously you know him?
Yeah. Kind of. Not
I haven't
really.
met him.
That might be a good thing.
Oh?
I don't know.
I like meeting people.
Seems like Jeunesse kind of people. You know, mysterious suit.
He's a spook.
Yeah, he's a spook.
Ah, cool.
Don't like spooks.
My kind of people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
I'm not that spooky.
No, you're not.
He is.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's the one that
I shot him once.
And he still
was a
talks to
good
you.
day.
That's progress.
Yes, it is
I mean,
progress.
for some people that's foreplay, I guess. But, you know.
Actually, it's the only reason why I will talk to him is because he's not mad at me for shooting him.
Fair enough. So, does he have a particular allegiance, or is he just a general freelance spook?
Don't know. Won't tell.
Ooh. A puzzle. An enigma.
Sure.
A riddle.
Yeah, but he's a bit of a creep, and he, for some reason, and I still never had it explained to me, because of him there was a child in this loft for a few days.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look. Something. I made so much candy and donuts during that time that the soy printer still, like, everything still tastes a little sweet.
I'm sorry, Slice.
Okay. Some things we just roll with.
That's advice.
It seems like the right environment for that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had a question for you, which was
Okay.
it if I'm not getting paid.
No, you're getting paid.
Oh. Okay. How much?
At least 10,000.
Oh, okay.
If you make it back alive.
Well, yeah. If we weren't getting paid, I was gonna say we had to. You were gonna need to take us in a very nice plane, but for 10,000, I'll go to UCAS on a raft.
We won't make it in time if we take a raft.
Yeah. Oh, probably.
Just a quick thought about logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a boat and a seaplane to UCAS, along with all the other crap that we're going to have to take with us.
Well, I think you probably want to launch the seaplane from New Atlantis. I think we go there, then we come back, and then ship out from here once they're ready for us.
What I was going to suggest is that we put all of it on a shipping container and ship in it and ourselves to close to close to UCAS, and then we maybe find a nice secluded bit of beach not far from New York where we can park a seaplane and a boat until we are ready to enact the plan.
So why are we taking a seaplane and a boat?
To find them, because they don't know how to get out of the ocean. They're going to be lost in the middle of the ocean, and you need to go get them.
Yeah.
So as to not be trackable, they are going to go get themselves lost in the ocean, and they need you to go find them in the seaplane and guide them back to
we only
Atlantis.
need one vehicle for that.
Well, the boat is for them.
Yeah.
The submersible boat is for them to go get themselves lost in the ocean with.
Right.
And then the seaplane is for you to go find them in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can.
And a seaplane's going to have more range than a boat like that, I would imagine.
The seaplane can stay in New Atlantis, and you can ship out from there. And the boat would have to go with you, so that you can set it up on the freighter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. Okay. The plan is to get those items and then go to New York with them. Do everything there.
Well, unless we want to get them in New York and then transship back to New York, back from New York, rather than the other way around.
Well,
but we have contacts who can provide the equipment here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily have those contacts in UCAS.
No. The boat that we want, the one that we have to hook up,
is here.
Yes. How long would it be for us to take that to New York?
It doesn't have that kind of range. If it were just to go on its own, you would have to attach it to the bottom of whatever ship you're taking to get to UCAS anyway.
Okay. Which would be the plane.
Or, well,
I mean, the other option is we could drop some... Yeah. Mm-hmm. We could do some fuel drops from the plane as that boat is being transported to New York, but like driven to New York, but it's also a smaller boat. It's probably not going to be suitable for ocean going for extended periods. The other thing is by the time it gets to New York, that might be outside our time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, even a freighter might be outside our time frame. I'm still not sure how we're going to get the boat and the plane into that sort of range.
Yeah, you should probably talk to the people who are actually supposed to be getting you there.
Yeah. I will say, well, if that's the issue, I know that I can ask the Irish for a ride to New York.
And let's accelerate the whole handoff of all the tickets and all that stuff, and I can just fast forward you to a meeting with the Irish.
Okay. I want to figure out the purchase of the boat and the aircraft
So
before then.
both of them require that you either pay 1,500 new yen per day that you're renting it, or you can pay a 5,000 new yen safety deposit, and then it just costs 400 new yen per day to rent it. And then you'll get the deposit back when you bring it back safely.
Okay. I can only afford one of those things. Is the problem.
So, what about finance? Do we have any options for short-term project finance, shall we say? Like, is this something that...
You know a money lender. You met one last session.
I don't want to talk to him. I don't like him.
Is that Alfred?
No. There's a money lender in Simon's Palace who was going to lend Blinky money for the ransom.
Oh, yeah.
I will make the deposit for the ship, though.
Okay. All right. And then I will just set up direct transactions so that money is extracted every day for the rental.
Okay.
And Reef Jackson, thank you for following.
You.
And yeah, or you know people who could perhaps help you with deposits as well. You know, just general friends who might have that kind of money. You could ask
I could
Slice.
potentially, yeah.
See how much money he has. Actually, Slice has the money because he partially owns a business.
Oh, yeah. Slice, do you want to help?
Actually, no. Capjack will loan you the money.
Heck no. I'm not talking to him.
Okay.
You guys do that, not me. He hates me.
Capjack? Think I've heard you mention him before. He was, shall we say, a previous resident?
Yeah.
Remember when she said she shot the mysterious man in the head? The business partners. She shot him on Capjack's property. It's a whole thing.
I had every good reason. He's just being
I love
upset.
hearing about whole things because information gives one a certain amount of survival power.
Well, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this conversation. I'm going somewhere else.
If Star would like, Star could call Capjack.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you need some negotiations done, maybe you could make an introduction and I could have the conversation.
I can handle. I'll call.
Okay.
All right. Hello?
Capjack, stop. I need to borrow some money.
Do you now? How much do you need?
Oh, how much was it again?
5,000.
5,000 for a deposit. Yeah.
Okay. 5,000.
Okay. Yeah, there's interest on that.
Understand how it works.
All right. Then I can send that over. How you been?
Well, not too bad. I did eat another explosive, but I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I might be leaving town soon. But you'll get your money first.
All right. All right. Yeah. I'll send you the money.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So you will receive a pretty good deal in the realm of criminal money lending, which will be 5,000 new yen at a 10% monthly interest. Which, if you can pay it off, in the next 5 days, the interest will be non-existent.
Right.
All right.
And then I will pay that as the deposit.
All right. Cool. And then will Valkyrie be paying the rest of the rental?
Yes.
The seaplane you're not renting until you actually ship off with it, so don't worry about paying for that yet. And do you want to now go to the meeting with the Irish before we wrap up this session?
Sure.
Just a quick question before we do that. I'm happy to fly the seaplane. Although, I mean, how many of us do we actually need to get into UCAS? What's the plan there?
There's 4 of us. You, me, Star, and Slice.
But if we're taking the seaplane from here, does that mean we're flying back here from UCAS?
I don't think we're taking.
And then taking the seaplane, or is one of us staying behind to fly the seaplane out to a search grid?
As the GM, I would suggest that you don't have part of your group be in a different country. What I would suggest as the GM would be, you all go to New York together, you do all the things you need to be doing in New York, and once you're done with there, then you come back over here and do all your stuff here.
All right.
I guess her question is, how do we get back?
That is going to be a part of the deal you make with the Irish.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Unless you plan on staying in New York,
let's go talk to the Irish.
You're gonna have to come back anyway. So you meet the same Irish boss you've met a few times now, or at least some of you have. And
I introduced myself as Janess, hand him a card.
He immediately just tosses it over to some other lackey who has to deal with remembering your number. All right. You've got to deal with Alfred. So, what are the requirements of your trip?
We need to get into UCAS without being spotted, and then we need to get out.
Just your bodies?
We will be bringing our equipment, and something else to go there, but not to come back. I will describe to him the device we're bringing.
The boat.
The boat.
All right. Can that be stored in a box or something?
Probably. Big box.
Can it be towed, perhaps?
Yeah, it's got a bag.
All right.
It's actually better if it's towed.
I've got a ship.
I
can take you.
I give him the dimensions.
Okay, awesome. I got a ship that can take you there. Fast enough for sure. Unless you need to be there this afternoon.
No. Just soon.
Yeah. I can do that. And when
Okay.
will you be returning?
Less than a week. We don't know exactly. There's a lot of parts at play, but we don't plan to stay there horribly long.
All right, when you...
If we're there, if we're there more than a couple of days, it's probably going to mean there's complications that we're dealing with.
Well, the favor
Go smooth.
The favor you've turned in is a return is a two-way trip. So when you get into New York, you'll be introduced to a contact there of mine. He'll take care of you there in the city, give you a place to stay, and you'll just let him know when you're coming back.
Okay. Thank you.
As it goes, how's Alfred doing?
Pretty good. Still a little shaky, but that seems to be normal for him.
Yeah, timid fellow. And you, Janice, haven't met you before. How long you been in the city?
Oh, not so long. You know, a couple of weeks.
What kind of business?
It's been a while since I've visited the old Emerald.
Yeah, they're a little picky nowadays about who's let in.
Aye. But it's nice to see you again.
And he kind of looks at you quizzically. Is it?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said he'd had already met me.
No. He's saying he hasn't met you before. And he's.
Oh, hasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
My internet's a little weird, so.
That's all right.
Sorry. Yeah. I say long time traveler.
What kind of business do you do here?
Sorry.
What kind of business do you do? Your profession?
Let's say that I specialize in interfaces. Human and otherwise.
Well, I guess we got your number then. Call you if we need that.
Yes.
Kind of work.
Absolutely. I mean, you need a good negotiator. Someone who can find ways to create opportunities for influence.
Yeah.
You've got the deal.
Yeah, all right. So, ship's at the docks, the undercommon docks, for whenever you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
I need the information on the new threat and the guy before we can leave. From Blinky.
Okay. The guy that you are going to assassinate, this one is has no relatives or anything in the city and lives alone in a apartment, which you get a location on, and is a member of the Iron Shield security force, which is primarily recruited from ex-military forces. He's a distinguished soldier, is what you can tell, but most of the stuff about what he actually did is not available to view.
Okay. Okay.
And the info on this other job, you won't be getting much more yet. Blinky will try and get you some details on that as you can. The photograph you have, though, is of 4 individuals. A human with a lot of cyborg, like a lot of cyberware. One of his arms is completely replaced. A large chunk of his face is replaced, and appears to have the way that his skin like bulges out in places appears that perhaps his bones are not exactly all natural, and there may be other machinery underneath. There is a elf holding a sniper rifle. There is a human with some kind of odd kind of high quality, but also like very customized grenade launcher. One of those 6-cylinder grenade launchers.
Okay.
And a gnome, which is a meta variant of the dwarven metahuman, who is has the limited real estate of his shirt almost entirely covered with bandoliers of grenades. Which means he has like 6 grenades on him.
Do I recognize the sniper?
No.
Okay, good.
You do recognize a symbol though on her cheek.
Okay.
This person was not around when you were around.
Okay. That is a big problem. Great. But I think I know our in.
All right, and that's where we are going to end the session.
Okay.
Cool.
So, in the same order that we introduced you all, why don't you say who you are and all that?
Okay. Hi, I'm Gemma. I play Janess in this. I am also the DM for the Welcome to Cottaset campaign, which will hopefully be back underway shortly. We're just on hiatus while we sort out some production issues. Once that's done, Wednesday nights or Thursday, very early mornings, depending where you are, we play D&D in a homebrew campaign, which I GM. Other than that, I'm at Blue Jay Gliding on the Twitters, and I also run a media production unit called at Antipode Yarns on the Twitters.
Awesome.
That's me.
Silverstorm.
Hi, I'm Silverstorm. I'm this guy's wife. And this is the only game I'm playing in currently. The other things I do online is I have a webcomic based in the Shadowrun universe. And that's mostly it. Yep, that's it.
All right. And Nerdy.
Yeah, I'm Nerdy Titty. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Titty. I am here 3 times a week. I run the Mask RPG game Aegis Shield of Earth on Monday night. Wednesdays, right now, I am a part of the VTM Camarilla game. So tune in next week to find out the fate of Celine. And on Thursdays, I split my time between Pokemon and Shadowrun. That's everything I have.
Awesome. And I am Shogun. I'm Shogun117 on Twitter, and I run the Mimic Nights game, which is every second, fourth, and fifth Tuesday of the month. I run this Shadowrun game every other Thursday, and I play in the Pokemon game, which is all the other Thursdays. I'm in the Sabat's Vampire the Masquerade game every Saturday. And also, I run a game on the a Destiny homebrew of D&D every Sunday, or most Sundays, not every single Sunday, on the Alaskan Blue Jay Twitch channel as well. I also get to thank Patreon people, because apparently that's there now. We have that. I posted that up on the BRB and starting soon screens, and yeah. So thank you everybody who supported the channel. That's going to help make it not cost Throck money to have this channel exist, and potentially even help DMs and players get paid eventually. So that's all really cool. But I'm much more interested in the fact that it might give us like more character art and stuff for characters in the games.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
We flew right past the first goal, and we're getting close, I believe.
I'm very excited about that. So we're gonna go raid bands with bards. Looks like they're playing some D&D, I think. And yeah. So yeah. And we'll get going in just a minute. So thank you everyone who played. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.